Hello and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
Wait, Brandon, should we actually start with that intro?
Oh, right.
Yeah. Wait. We talk about all things. Well, I mean, honestly.
Well, maybe not all things Power Rangers right now.
Maybe not all things.
Yeah, we'll probably need to revise. We probably need to revise that intro.
Good point. Well, we're still keeping it, but let me make a correction. Some things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. That's a good point. Yeah.
Wow.
My name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And I'm Will.
And to the point of Lena and Will, we are only going to be talking about some things Power Rangers because I don't know whether y'all heard, but there's a strike going on. Originally it was just the WGA, the writers, the Writers Guild of America, but now SAG-AFTRA is also striking as well, which are the actors themselves, so sorry, but we going forward will not be talking about all things Power Rangers because of that, because we are in support of the strike. So more on that in just a second. But before I go there, okay? But before I go there, I just want to remind everybody, we still here. So definitely check us out at linktr.ee/Tribunal of the Grid. It has all of our links there, our personal links. It has our podcast links, our SoundCloud, YouTube, I'm forgetting everything. I haven't done this in a while. SoundCloud, YouTube.
We're pretty much anywhere you're listening.
Anywhere where you listen to podcasts. Thank you, because my brain went dead.
I mean, to be fair, we've just been lifing so hard that we literally have not gotten a chance to sit down and chat with each other in a while.
We just literally had a long conversation where we had to explain we got to get some explanations out, had to talk about some things, and it's been,
It's been a journey this year, a real interesting journey.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I know, I'm sure you guys expected us to be on a weekly basis. Like we were so great. And then this year hit, and you know what? It's great that we're out there doing our thing, living our lives, achieving some goals, knocking down those checklists.
Okay.
But at the same time, we neglected other areas of our lives, and it's the podcast, and for that we apologize. But we unfortunately can't apologize for living our life and doing our thing.
Right. And I mean, honestly, and there is a silver lining to all of this, and we're looking at it from a positive standpoint. So I mean, honestly, it's not like the podcast is going away. Let's not do that. Like, the podcast is not going away.
No. We're still here, and we're gonna be here long after the strike.
Right. But what I will say as well is, I say that there's a silver lining because all this is just we're just trying to figure out a way to keep it going while also being in support of our brothers and sisters who are on strike, who are, who are not working at the moment. Now, I'm pretty sure y'all are like, so what the hell are you talking about, Brandon? So with this strike, let's just go ahead and get into it. So with this strike, what's actually happening? So for anybody who is under a rock, who does not know what the devil they striking about, so SAG-AFTRA is on strike after a long, grueling session of trying to get the studios to listen to them. So as you probably have already recognized, this whole situation, this whole strike is pretty messed up when you really actually look at the things that are happening. So what are the actors actually striking about? So the reason of this whole strike after a long negotiation, after all these talking points and basically trying to get the studios to be like, hey, you should pay us just a little bit more. We're not asking for the world, okay? We're not asking for the world. We are just asking for, you to give us better pay and job security. Also pay attention to, the streaming platforms, and we should be getting what our just due. We should be getting what we're worth. And the studios basically was like, nah. Like the studios was like, and yeah, and now look at where we are. So we here at Tribunal of the Grid, we are also in support as well. I myself is SAG eligible. So for me, I am completely in support of the strike. So that is why I'm pretty sure y'all have noticed, haven't been posting any Ranger of the Month stuff, haven't been posting anything dealing with like the Cosmic Fury or any updates on Cosmic Fury or anything like that. Haven't been posting anything. And that is literally just because of that, because of the strike. So I'm pretty sure you're asking, well, what's going on with Power Rangers? Why can't you talk about Power Rangers? Well, here's the thing. We are talking about Power Rangers. We're going to talk about the comics, we're going to talk about other things that does not have to deal with the TV show. The reason of that is because one of the Power Rangers is on a major platform, and that platform is Netflix. Netflix is one of the studios that we are striking against. So I don't want to talk about Power Rangers and drive too much attention to, to Netflix. Like, I'm not like, my whole thing is, I personally feel like, and this is my own personal conviction, I personally feel like there is no reason for us to give any type of support to these people. I mean, we're already going to get support anyway because of Cosmic Fury coming out anyway. So they're going to get support. And also, too, there are other Power Ranger platforms that are going to be doing a whole lot of talking about Power Rangers, not just doom and gloom, but they will be talking about Cosmic Fury. So I don't feel like it's necessary for us, particularly, to participate in that when I already know so many people are going to do that for us. So I just feel like at this point, we're just going to show solidarity for these actors. And then when it's all over, then y'all will get our opinions. Like, don't worry. Like, because the strike ain't gonna last forever. The storm ain't forever. It ain't gonna last always. So like, we will be coming back and talking about Cosmic Fury and talking about giving you guys our wonderful opinions. But as of right now, if it's anything dealing with the TV show, we're just not going to talk about it.
Me personally, I am very much in support of this because I love television, and I know that it takes so much work to make it, from the writers to the actors and the crew. And I think that those folks deserve to be able to pay their rent, to be able to take care of themselves, to be eligible for health care, because a lot of them are making so little that they don't qualify for SAG's health care. So it's like it's and all the while these huge these giant corporations, these networks, these streaming platforms, they're making so much money, that like they'll continue to be paid while your average actor, that they're not rich. You'll
Yeah.
have people, you do have like the rich and famous actors, some of which have actually, is really cool to see that they've donated money to try and help out, but um a lot of the actors don't have that. So it's just, it also correlates to other industries as well, because some of the things that are happening in other industries as well. So like I have
Mm-hmm.
empathy for it. So I just I'm hoping for the best for the workers out there, the people that are actually working hard and not just sitting in a boardroom with a multi-billion-dollar salary.
Oh, child, don't even get me started because there are some people who have fixed their mouths to say some wild shit
Of course.
about this strike.
Of
And I'm just like, from
Mhm.
CEOs to actors, which
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm gonna
Oh
dig in some
God.
ass. I'm gonna dig in some ass today. What you was gonna say, Lena?
Oh, I was just gonna add in that I'm supportive of it too, as kind of along the lines of what Will started out with. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love television, I love films, and I myself have like done background work for the fun of it, not because I want to become an actor myself or I want to get into the SAG union, but I know that if I was able to do a certain amount of hours, I could become unionized myself. And obviously, we'll get into what like being unionized mean for the actors and actresses and everyone else that is part of this union. But it's definitely a lot better. But I think the misconception of like how actors are rich is so far from the truth. It's ridiculous. I think the best person that was genuinely honest about it was Adelaide Kane, where she
Yeah.
posted. If you guys haven't seen it yet, like look for it. I think it's on her YouTube or is in one of her like TikToks or Reels or whatever. It is somewhere, but we'll basically tell you what it is. And unless like you somehow become an A-list celebrity where you just get your money from sponsorships, deals, and like I don't even know what else, right? Like obviously, Brennan added because I don't know where else you can make your income, but each show she gets paid for, she gets a set sum. And then she has
Mm-hmm.
to put that sum aside for the future, save it for the rainy days, they say. And that's literally what she has to do. And she has to make sure that she evens it out so that it covers her entire mortgage if she has a mortgage. It covers her rent if she has like if she's renting. It covers her daily expenses. It covers all her other bills, And on top of that, she still has to pay a manager to manage her. So
Yeah.
like,
Right. Right.
30%.
yeah, so like,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that
Mm-hmm.
money kind of needs to be stretched. So if she doesn't get the next job, she's living on the current money that she just made. And
Yeah.
she needs to figure out how to stretch that out. I mean, obviously, again, some people are lucky enough or blessed enough that they do come from, like a relatively decent family, so they're not struggling. But then there are others that are struggling. And I say this because if y'all know Ale, you know that she has really expensive taste. And obviously, you might be thinking, like, well, how does she have such an expensive taste if she's so called broke? Well, I'm not saying she's broke. I'm just saying she just explained to us how her money works and how realistically she needs to stretch that for the next rainy day, and obviously how do you do that when you have a mortgage, like we are lucky in a sense that with some of our jobs we have a steady income. Like I know with Will, for example, he works at Starbucks. As long as he's clocking those hours, he'll definitely get a paycheck. Where someone like myself, now I own a business, if I don't work, I'm not getting paid. So I'm not saying it's similar to the actors, but I can understand that method that she was explaining to us, where she, whatever you're making today, you need to make sure you stretch that because you don't know when your next job is at. You don't know how much it's gonna be. You don't know where it's at, and especially for like actors and actresses when they have to pick up and leave and relocate. They don't I don't know if studios pay them for that, but from what I understood, like they might get a small something, but it's all on them to relocate and move somewhere else for their next job.
Yeah. And I mean, like, just for clarification, I mean, some managers do take like 10 to 15, but some can literally go as high as 30. Like, I know a lot of like big name actors, like their managers definitely get 30% for sure.
Damn.
That's why I blurted out 30 so fast because like Adelaide, like, because she is like, oh, I would say she would be like a B-lister. Like she's led shows, like she's been in so many shows.
Oh yeah.
Like sis is definitely up there, right? Like she's been recurring. Because isn't she? Yeah, she's in the newest
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy, yeah.
Yep.
So as a recurring character, so like sis is getting money. Like she's definitely getting up there in terms of star status. Yeah. But even she's saying like, shit, it's hard out here,
Yeah.
So
yeah. So that's what it made me thought about, because I'm like, she ain't broke, but she ain't like
she's not living large.
Yeah, she's
right.
She's definitely struggling too. So that hopefully kind of sets the tone of what we're heading into with this conversation today, and like what we're gonna discuss and what we're gonna cover. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's so sad because like there was I forget the actor's name, but he was in Sabrina the Teenage Witch on Netflix.
Yes, which one?
Is it Gavin?
I forget his name. I think that was him. It was the white guy. I don't remember.
That narrows it down, Brandon, the white guy.
White guy. I mean, they need to have more people of color. That just shows you right there. They need more people of color.
What was it? The boyfriend?
But I don't think he was the boyfriend.
Okay,
yeah, she did. I don't remember. That's him. Okay, thank you. Because I don't remember.
He's fine.
I don't remember. I genuinely don't.
I think they also dated in real life too.
Oh,
interesting.
Gavin, right? Good old Ross.
I think that might be him, but I know he did say that he was on the show. I just don't remember what character that he did, but I do think that he said he was on the show.
Well, if he's not Harvey or the other boyfriend or the other cousin, then he don't know.
It's not Chance. Cousin? It's not Chance. What's his name? The black guy.
Chance.
That's his name, right? Chance. Yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
Okay, I was right. It wasn't him because I know his fine ass. It wasn't him.
He's not white.
Because I would have told you, huh?
He's not white. He's not fully
right. So right, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Like I was just saying, like if it's none of those three, we don't care.
Okay, because baby, that's my husband in my head. Like I've always said, like if I ever get into a relationship with somebody, like my next one, you.
It's
you.
He is so.
He is fine, and I love his personality. I'm just like, oh, come here. Let mama love on you. Come here. Anyway, but that's enough about that. Y'all need to know what I'm attracted to. But anyway, so the point of this is the point I was getting at was the actor was basically saying how he is basically like he has a family, and he literally has to, like, in between doing his acting work, sometimes he doesn't get gigs, and he has 2 other jobs that he works. And he was saying like he drives like a 2013, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's like, I'm not living the lavish life that that everybody thinks I live. Like I don't live that. And it's so sad that it's like, you really think that like somebody who's been on like a show that is, worldwide,
as big as Sabrina,
as big as that, exactly. You would think it's like, oh my goodness, like I'm sure they're they're living life and they have all this money and they're rich and all this stuff. And it's like, no, they're really not. Like, they're not rich at all. And that's the part that's so sad about it, is just the fact that it's like, these people, they're like legit, like, they don't have what you think they have. Oh my gosh, hold on one second. Oh gosh, I need to, let me see. Hold on one second. Let me see, because I am going to pull up, what's that girl's name? I just saw it earlier too. What's that Black actress name who she was talking about like how she can't get health care?
Giovanni
Giovanni?
Giovanni Samuels.
Giovanni Samuels.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like I saw her situation, and I just thought that that was just so heartbreaking. So Giovanni Samuels, she's been in like so many shows. Like, she's like pretty much a child actress. Like, she's a child star, and she's been in so many things. And sis is out here like, she can
Oh
barely,
my
like,
god.
she doesn't even make enough to like even qualify for SAG healthcare. Like, so she's like out here like, I don't make enough because I make too much to, to not qualify for assistance, but I don't make enough to qualify for the healthcare. So like, literally, like, she's like, I have to pay out of pocket for everything.
And that
And it's
adds
just,
up.
and that adds up. So it's just like, y'all really don't quite, like, people are out here just basically saying stuff like, oh, well, I don't understand why the actors are acting like this. And it's like, when you are faced with something like that, I think you need to reevaluate your statements. Like, because a lot of y'all are working under jobs that y'all automatically get health care. If you don't qualify, you can't.
Something that's been pissing me off lately is seeing well, they should have chose a different profession. They should have been more realistic. But who the fuck would be, excuse me, who
No,
would
you're
our
right.
actors be then? Like, who would our writers be then? Like,
Exactly. And to add to that, Will, what really makes me so angry when people say stupid shit like that, it's like, why, when you say stuff like that, to me, you're protecting these studios. You're giving these studios a free pass to treat actors the way however they want to treat them, because of the fact that it's like, well, you chose this.
That's a great point.
You
Victim
chose
blaming.
this. It's very victim blaming. It is very much victim blaming. It's like, well, you chose this. I mean, well, whatever. It's like, no. If these people can make billions of dollars off my talent and I only get like a couple hundred in freaking checks, like, are you freaking kidding me? While they're sitting there laughing all the way to the bank, buying yachts and all type of shit, you mean to tell me I can't get a little bump in pay? Like that, like, how freaking ridiculous is that? Like, there should be no reason as to why anybody should not be paid. Like, if anything, like, honestly, with the way studios make so much money, like so much money, every actor who acts in anything should be making a damn good living. Like, they all should be. Like, they rake in billions of dollars, especially when it comes to Disney. First of all, let me jump on Disney's ass real fast, because how dare you, Bob Iger?
Right.
Like, how dare you sit here and say, "Oh, the striking is so disruptive"? Do you not realize how you're disrupting people's lives?
Right. And then, oh my God, he said that the actors aren't being realistic.
They're not being realistic.
Like
Not
but
being
I don't
realistic.
understand what he thinks they're asking for because these people aren't asking to be a billionaire like you, Bob Iger. They're just asking to be able to pay their damn rent
That is
and
literally
give
what
them
they're asking
something
for.
livable. And
Give them
it's
something
like
livable.
the little bit that they're asking for, you'll still be a fucking billionaire.
Still be a billionaire. And my thing is, what makes me so angry, especially about what he said, is the fact that he said it at a billionaires retreat. You son of a bitch. You said that shit at a billionaires retreat? Really? This is what we do? Like, literally, you just had a huge bump in pay. You said it at a billionaires retreat. On, like, literally, you and your billionaire friends are sitting on yachts, sipping the best champagne, laughing all the way to the bank with all of your billions, while literally the people that work for you can barely afford health insurance. You got some fucking nerve.
Mm.
Like, it's just like, and people have the audacity to sit there and like say stupid shit like, oh, well, they chose this. Like, you're literally like, that's exactly what people like Bob Iger is saying. Well, you
So
chose
this,
this, so we deserve to pay you however we want to pay you.
you want to talk about his pay and his bump in pay recently. So according to Variety magazine, in 2021, he had a total compensation of $45.9 million, up from the 21 million he earned in 2020. His base salary was a little shabby $3 million. And he earned a cash bonus of $22.9 million. That's a lot
But
of.
but yet the strikes are so disruptive, and they're not being realistic. One of those things, just one of those increases in payment could literally change the lives of a lot of actors. Just one, and he would still be a billionaire. Just one of those payments. This man has so much fucking money that he in his own lifetime cannot spend it all. No matter what he buys, because at some point you can have so much money to the point where the money starts making money itself.
Mm-hmm.
It just starts adding up. The interest just starts accumulating, so the money is now making money. So
And it's
at
all,
some point it's gross to be that fucking rich.
yeah, and it's always the old motherfuckers that want to be talking shit like this. He's
Always.
years old. While there's oh my God, people who potentially will have a longer time here, who do love this profession for the acting, for the writing, or whatever else you do as a part of SAG. Like you said, one of those bumps in pay that he got, one of those bonuses, could have literally given livable wages to probably everyone, or at least a good amount of people within the union.
At least a
Like
good amount.
and like let's not, like, it's not only him. There's like so many other big executives that have all of this money
Mm-hmm.
that are fine. They're beyond fine. They're children, their children's children. They're fine. But like these people that work their asses off to make you a billionaire, you cannot pay them the right way. And this sounds very similar, speaking of Power Rangers, to why our Rangers left the show.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. I am so glad because like to keep this in the vein of Power Rangers, literally like that is exactly what happened to our beloved heroes. Because literally first season, Saban hit a huge lick. Like
He
he hit
became a
a
billionaire.
lick. He became a billionaire off this brand its first year. And these people were literally making, like, to what Austin said, like, McDonald's workers were making more than them. Like,
In
they could go to
93.
McDonald's. In 93, they can go to McDonald's and make more than what they were getting on set. Like, what? But you couldn't even, you literally hit $1 billion and you couldn't pay these people? You really couldn't pay these people? Like, oh my gosh. But that's what we're talking about, y'all. Like, these executives, these CEOs, they get so power hungry, they get so money hungry. They see that dollar bill and they become freaking evil. And it's like, wow, like, what the hell, dude? Like, this is really fucked up. And Lena just literally sent in the group chat, like, one actor, you probably would recognize him from American Pie, like Sean William Scott. He literally reveals that he made $8,000 for playing Stifter, like, in American Pie. It's like,
which
that's
is so crazy because
ridiculous.
that movie is so iconic.
Right?
Iconic. And then, like, literally said, like, he had to go back to working a regular job after
Please,
filming that movie.
tell the people what his job was.
What the people? Oh, wait, what now?
He was a
Oh, LA. Oh my God. He went back to working at the LA Zoo as a churro guy.
Yeah,
A churro guy, girl.
yep. I'm not
A
gonna lie.
churro guy.
I felt bad. I was like, what? You mean that's the reason why he disappeared this whole time?
He was working as a churro guy. No, I'm gonna hold you. Them churros be busting. But he was working as a churro guy. Y'all dead ass though?
At the zoo.
At the LA Zoo, big? Like, come on now. But yet and still, it's like, oh no, these actors, no, you chose this, right? You chose this. And this is also almost the same type of mentality that a certain somebody whose show I used to love decided that they wanted to come out and say some dumbass shit. And the person we talking about is our beloved Stephen Amell. Now, I'm pretty sure y'all recognize that name because he used to always quote his famous line in the show. You have failed this city. Oh, damn, I did that well.
Wow.
Shit. Damn, pat on the back, bitch. You ate that. Oh, hey, all right. So yeah. He used to quote that a lot, but it seems like he's also failed a bunch of his brothers and sisters in SAG because this mug decided that he wanted to tell the people at GalaxyCon in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I quote, I support my union. I do. And I stand with them. I do not support striking. I don't. I think that it is a reductive negotiating tactic. I find the entire thing incredibly frustrating. I think the thinking as it pertains to shows like the show that I'm on that premiered last night, I think it's myopic. Baby.
Don't you
First of all, does
love how
anybody
you
have anything to
the
say about that?
Well, my thing is, you realize that the reason why people strike is not because they want to, it's not because they choose to, it's because they want better for
They
their
have to.
They want better for their legacy. They want better for those who come after them. They want better. It's
Right.
not that people decide that one day they're just gonna get out and not work, okay? Not work and go on strike. That is not something that people do.
No.
Right. Right.
Literally not something people do. The reason why people go on strike is so that they can make a steady income. They can secure their spot in the job world, and they get what they deserve.
Right.
Yeah.
Period.
For me, what got me was the fact that he found a way to plug his show
Mhm.
right in the middle of that, which you're not supposed to be doing right now.
Right.
But and I actually like that show, and I don't know if I want
What
to
show is
watch
this
it
again?
Heels.
right.
It's a
No.
wrestling
Wait,
series
no,
show. Hmm?
we can't talk about it.
I know, but that's not promotion.
That's just
Oh,
explaining what the show
That's
is.
just saying what the show is.
okay, all right. Well, yeah, but anyway, I just it was given like calling folks lazy, like hard workers lazy
Oh my
for
god,
taking.
it's like that one time Kim Kardashian said to
Oh,
everybody, get off your lazy butt and work.
Ciao.
she said, "Get off your fucking ass and work."
Oh yes,
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
That's what she really said.
okay, that's what she said. Okay.
I mean,
That's what she said.
girl, she got off her butt, that's for sure. She needs to get some stuff out of her butt too, but
Oh. I mean, we ain't gonna talk about how she actually got to where she is because,
I
like,
didn't
let's
want to
be
say
very
any of
clear.
that. Okay.
I was gonna make a little joke, but then I was like, "Ooh, this sounds like that could be a little too risque for this podcast." So I'm not gonna say that. But girl, we all know, we all know, girl.
we all know.
Like, let's not do this. But yeah,
Well, you know what? One of the to kind of take it to now an even worse place with this story right now. We've heard that there are some big executives that are hoping that this strike will be over soon because soon the writers and actors won't be able to pay their rent. They won't be able
mm-hmm.
to pay a mortgage. They won't be able to pay for their cars. So
Right.
they're banking on. So they know that these people aren't making enough money, so they're
Right.
banking on them running out of money so that they come back to work and still are paid like
Nothing.
pennies compared to those people.
Right.
Which that's just
yeah.
so gross. That's ugh.
And Stephen, that's the reason why we strike. That's the reason why we strike, because you can literally sit here and say, with your 8 million, I believe he's worth 8 million. His net worth is 8 million, but you can literally sit there and say, oh, well, I think it's myopic, and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, there are people who, like we said, they deserve to make way more. And these people who are striking, they aren't getting paid anything right now. They're not making a single dime. So because they're not making a dime right now, they're facing like legit, like losing their apartments, losing their homes. Like they're facing like evictions because they want to make sure that their brethren, their brothers and sisters, and also the people coming after them have better work pay and better wages. Like, what part of that? Like, how can you be so selfish to only be like, well, I don't understand it, and I just feel like it's counterproductive? It's not counterproductive because the studios know that, yeah, we may not have to pay them anything, but also they don't get any work. So if they don't get any work and they don't get the people to come in and actually do the jobs, they don't make no money. So basically it's a basically kind of like a game of tug of war, just who's going to give up first.
And it's kind of stupid. They don't realize how much it actually intertwines into one another and how much it's going to affect everything else. It's not just like, oh, well, they're going to run out of money. They're going to come back to work. It's like, yeah, but that also affects your company. as
Right.
speaking of like a CEO or whatever, like that also affects your company because
Exactly.
now you're not bringing in that income that you should have been bringing in because you're not giving, the people what they deserve.
Well, according to Warner Brothers and their most recent Q call that they just had, which Hasbro also had one as well, which I do want to touch on eventually. But according to Warner Brothers, they they were like, "Well, we just wait. Will you're going mute? I'm echoing." Um, according to Warner Brothers, they were out here like, well, we hit a lick because we saved $1 million from not paying people. So
Wow.
they're pretty happy right now, and it's just like,
Wow.
If there's one thing these rich motherfuckers have, is the fucking audacity.
the audacity, the audacity. Like it just
I mean,
like I'm just like, wow, y'all, really?
and I think we also, I'm not sure we touched on it and I just totally missed it. They're also talking about like AIs too and not paying them like for their likeness
Oh,
afterwards.
oh yes, that like that we well, child. That's a huge part. That's a huge part of also the reason why we're striking as well. Like, so it's not just about the paying equitable wages and paying for and making a living, but it's also about AI usage because what really and I came to this conclusion like right before we even got on, honestly. But when you really actually think about it, because the Warner Brothers thing actually put it into context for me, and I just discovered how nefarious this crap is. Like they are talking about, oh, we saved all this money because we didn't have to pay people, and it dawned on me. Wait a minute, that's why they want to introduce AI so bad because they will save money on having to pay people to come in and do work. Because the gag is all they need is your likeness one time. That's it. And then they could literally use your likeness on any and everything going forward and never have to pay you. So literally, you can see your face pop up on a project that you've had nothing to do with. And they can keep doing that years down the line, and you don't see one red cent for that. There is something so evil and so heinous about doing this. It's just like, why? Like, why would y'all do something like that? Like just something so evil as like, oh yeah, like this is such a wonderful thing. And I remember this young lady on this talk show. I just saw a clip of it, but like she's talking about how wonderful this new AI technology is. And she's like just gushing over, oh, how wonderful this technology is. And I'm like, this shit needs to be regulated. It needs to be regulated by the courts. It needs to be regulated by the White House. It needs to be regulated by Congress. It needs to be regulated because this could turn out the usage of AI could turn out to be one of the worst inventions and could really fuck up everything as we know it in terms of using humans to do certain things. And and unchecked, it could lead to catastrophic situations. People could use AI to doctor up crime things, like people committing crimes. People could use AI to doctor their voices to trick people into giving away their money, and which has already been happening apparently. Like people could use AI for so many evil things. Like we've already seen how people, like I literally saw for myself, like one of my friends sent me a whole bunch of pictures that were like looked like it was like a runway show. And it was this gorgeous, gorgeous AI black man. And you thought that it was a part of a runway show. It looked like actual pictures,
Damn.
actual stills from a runway show. And literally, I'm like, oh wow, these outfits are so cool. Like, wow, like I'm loving this. And come to find out, it was AI.
Right. And I was just gonna say, like, apparently, the whole Britney movement too, they were saying that they've been trying to replace Britney with AI also. And now they're saying that Britney isn't actually Britney. We don't know where she went, but the girl that we're seeing is not Britney because there was a clip that, you know how Britney usually dances in her living room and she does her thing, whatever.
Girl, every time I see them videos, I get so nervous because I'm so scared that her private part's gonna jump out of them damn bikinis that she be
Well,
wearing. But I be so
right.
terrified. But yeah, go
So,
ahead.
but there was a scene where she brings her hand down across her face, like, you know, like right over her face. And for a
Mhm.
really split second, it was AI.
Shut the fuck up. Are
You
you
talking
serious?
about Brittany? I just came back. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
It was
looked like those eyes looked like her sisters for a second. That freaked me out.
like it's not Britney, it's someone else. Like it's
Oh
such a quick
wow.
like glimpse, but someone like I guess obviously looked into this and really did the whole backstory and did the whole like slow down the video to the point where you can see it too. Like when they did the reverse, you can see it. There is a filter in front of her face. That's not Britney.
Oh wow.
There's oh
That-
my god, don't be
That's
on TikTok if you don't want to get freaked out about Britney.
yeah,
Oh
like
Because those
no.
TikTokers.
and then the crazy thing is like the other thing is I'm actually at the point where I genuinely believe that Britney isn't Britney anymore because there was a contract that they were trying to make her likeness to be AI so that she can be around forever and not have the original Britney in like the original Britney can be like retired, locked up. I don't know what they're gonna do to her, obviously,
Oh
because there's
no.
some powerful people out there, right? But the other thing was, I'm not sure if y'all notice this, but she doesn't say nothing in public anymore, and she always hides her face, and she wears big sunglasses, and she hides her chin, and she hides behind her so-called husband, right? And her husband does all the talking and everything like that. So it's almost like they don't want to reveal that she's not really who she is because people can tell right away by the way she speaks that's not Britney. Or if they see her face enough, they know it's not Britney. You know, like they're real, like she's really covering her face when she's out in public and stuff like that. And
Oh wow.
the obviously the OG Britney would talk to her fans. She would thank her fans for like giving her the support and love, and like they were comparing to how she used to be until now. Like so now everyone's kind of saying like maybe she's not really out of the conservatorship like we thought. Maybe this whole thing was to kind of hide us to sort of trick us to look that direction while something else is bigger is happening.
Well,
Oh
they
no.
had that care plan, that sealed care plan, which we don't know what the hell that
Yeah,
was.
yeah. So speaking of AI, it's scary. And apparently too, like people are like your loved ones are calling you to be like, hey Brett, I'm
Mm-hmm.
so sorry, I really need your help. Like, can you send me like I'm sorry, but if you call me and tell me to send you money through a Visa, like I'd be like, how no? Who are you?
And oh my God, there was one story I heard about this lady. She got a call from her daughter who was like
Yeah,
saying that she was kidnapped. And
yeah.
then she's like freaking out. She's talking, trying to I'm not sure if she got as far as like a ransom, but she ended up going upstairs and finding her daughter just laying down.
Yeah, I
And
was just
like
gonna
somebody
say,
had somehow gotten her voice.
yeah. I was just gonna say I heard a similar story. Basically, um, like her daughter called from Walmart and she doesn't really say much, but she's just like, um, I'm really scared. I need your help. Can you please come? Right? And she's just like, well, what's happened? Like, what's going on? Like, she's obviously trying to understand, and she doesn't really give an explanation. So she just keeps repeating herself, being like, I'm here, and I'm trying to buy something, and I'm really scared, and I need your help. So I think by like the third round of trying to figure out what's going on, her daughter actually walks in, like through the door, and
Okay, okay,
chilling, and she sees
okay.
her daughter, and so she's like, wait, what the fudge? Like, if you're here, who the heck is on the phone?
Ooh, child.
Like, what the
This shit right here,
uh-huh.
this is so dangerous. And that you y'all literally just proved my point. It's just
Exactly.
like
And
people are like they could do this, like they could use
hey,
AI to really
yep.
hurt people.
And then the other thing is too, someone was
Mhm.
saying like something about password, like like your friends and you need to like share like a passcode that only you guys know. But my thing is like if they're eavesdropping on our phone calls, they'll know what our password is. If they're reading our text, they know what our password is. Like there could be a whole series of things. And like my sister and I were talking, right? And we already established if I call her or and to ask her to put money on a visa, like a prepaid visa, we know it ain't happening, Like it ain't happening. You can Venmo, you can, like cash app me, like whatever, right? So yeah, it's kind of crazy how AI is really out there. And to further add to it, and then I'll shut up. Apparently, right now, there are two AIs that are influencers. That
Wait,
are
what?
influencers. Yeah. Like they're influencers online. Like, but they're AIs. They're not like a real person.
Oh, I heard about one of them. One of them is a woman. She's
Yeah,
like dudes are like really getting gooped and gagged because
of course.
like they're realizing that like, oh my gosh, like this is not a real woman. Like this is actual AI.
Well, I mean, there's two of them. I'm not sure if it's the same person we're talking about. I know one of them is blonde, and the other one, it's like a dark headed girl.
I
And
know I think it's dark haired one. The one that I'm
okay,
referring to. She's the dark
yeah.
haired one.
So apparently, like they be out here, like literally becoming influencers. I don't know what they're influencing because
Child, these men be giving them money.
like, and apparently they also have sponsorship deals too and everything.
I'm telling you, like, this shit is wild.
It's
And that's what I
wild.
mean. It's like this shit get being unchecked because like right now we're in the wild wild west of
Yep.
AI.
Yep.
Like every technological advancement have had its wild wild west version. Like
Yep.
YouTube has had it, social media has had it. AI is just in its wild wild west version. We're gonna
Right.
have to get to a point where we are now basically like, hey, no, this needs to be regulated. You can't do this. If you get caught doing X, Y, and Z, you will be going to jail.
It's
Or
yeah,
yeah, either that or either
Fine.
like like these things, like things need to be put in place because there is
absolutely.
no reason as to why anyone should be able to use AI to do something like that. And that
100%.
just go and that just goes back into the whole acting thing. It's like what makes y'all think that this is ethical to take somebody's likeness and basically say, hey, we're going to use this. Even though you worked on this one project, you made decent money, and we're going to pay you like, off this one project. We're going to pay you like 3 cents, 3, 4 cents, maybe $1 in residuals. But going forward after that, we can put your face in any movie. We can put your face in Secret Wars. We can put your face in the newest Marvel movie, the newest DC movie. We can put your face in anything, and you can't say anything. You have no rights to it. Like literally, you have no rights to your own likeness. Sounds familiar, right? Like, wow. Wow, y'all.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
I I
Like, this shit is evil.
I don't even know where to begin with that because that is like I don't even know like because like when you think about it, right? I really go AI route, like because I like going back to what we were saying earlier, like they're trying to do that with Britney, or maybe they already have done that with Britney because we don't know. We actually truly don't know. We don't know where she at. We don't know if that's really her. We don't know what's going on. We just have so many questions. And at the end of the day, what's scary too is that if AI takes over with films and all that stuff, the whole industry in itself will be gone.
Yeah,
It'll be gone.
yeah.
It'll be demolished. The world of entertainment that as we know it is gone.
It's over.
It's
It's
over.
over.
Yeah.
Like
This
the
is
only
like,
people that would actually be able to work would be your A-listers.
hmm
honestly, those would be the only
And
people that would honestly be called. Like everybody else, like your regular day players, your one-offs, like your supporting cast members, your extras, there's no use for them. Like once they get your
mhm.
face at one time, it's like, well shit, they don't need you anymore.
So many of these scary things with AI. Um, what was it? The impending AI world domination. So like, it's really terrifying because like you said, the idea of an actor, they do some background work, and then their likeness could be used for the next year, for decades. Like you just don't know. And oh my God, like all the different sorts of projects it could be used for just something just that totally goes against what you believe in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just and it, yeah, it's just so crazy. Like the greed of these rich folks, like they really don't care. You ask about ethics, like when it comes to money and power, ethics don't mean shit. So
Ethics don't mean shit.
it's
They
just
don't give a
like
damn.
I don't know. I don't know. I hope that we can like you said, I hope that there's enough fight in people to really like nip this in the bud before it gets out of control, because it's already so just some of the things that we've talked about already and things that we're seeing is already pretty freaky. Like it's really it's just nerve-wracking just thinking about where we could go in the next few years.
Oh yeah, and I mean, like Lena already. You mentioned that when we were talking before we started recording. You mentioned the Black Mirror episode, and it came at
Oh,
like the perfect time because I'm pretty sure people weren't really thinking about AI in that way at
No.
that point, and then all of a sudden they're probably thinking in the writers' room like, wouldn't it be crazy? Wouldn't it be some shit if that happened? And that's what literally is trying to happen
Yep.
in real life. Like that is literally what is trying to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You
Also,
know,
for next episode while we dissect that.
okay, like I'm down for that because like it's so wild that like this is where we are. Like they are legit at a point to where they're like, we don't even want genuine human interaction anymore. We don't even want genuine human emotion. We just don't want to fucking pay people. If we can get around not paying these mugs and stuff in our pockets, we will do anything. And I mean anything. And it's just like, and the gag is what's so scary and what's so sad about it is the fact that we would legit be like, yeah, there are many people who would be on board with that. Who would be like, oh, well, I mean, as long as they produce good content, like, I mean, I don't really care. I don't really care about background people. Cause like literally, I think it was a Disney show. I remember seeing this TikTok where this guy literally freeze frame. It was a Disney movie or a Disney show, and they were like, there's like a gymnasium scene, and literally like the actors are
oh my
performing. There's like
God.
cheerleaders, and like the guy he freeze framed on the audience, and it's nothing but Sims characters,
Right.
and they're
What
like,
the hell?
and I'm like, what the fuck? Like this is a Disney movie. Like this is a Disney produced show or movie. And you mean to tell me they didn't have enough money to get like to get extras?
I am shocked.
Like one of my first early jobs was I mean it never came out, but it was I think it was a Disney produced movie. Like one of my first early jobs. And literally we were on set for oh my god, like we were literally just playing high school students sitting in the hallway. And while they set up for the scene, we were sitting there for God knows like I don't know how
So
long. We were
long.
sitting there for like 4 hours.
Oh, I'm sure longer. Because like I similar,
Like
yeah,
Yeah, like we were just sitting there for 4 hours, and literally, like we sat there for 4 hours for like a scene that they shot like just a few times, and then they were like, "We got it."
Wow, really?
Like for the amount of time that we sat there, they probably worked on that scene maybe 30 minutes.
Damn, I was the opposite of you. My first job was background, and it was a night shoot, so it was at an actual cemetery, which
Oh God.
I was freaked out
Wow.
about that because I'm like, I've never even spent time in a cemetery, let alone like spending like an entire like night at the cemetery. I think we got there for like 6 at night, and I didn't leave till like 7 the next day. And
Oh my goodness.
yeah, it was ridiculous. And like it never like it was a pilot show and it never came out. I kind of wish it did, but what is that show? I think the only no, the guy, the little boy that says I see dead people.
From the Sixth Sense.
Yes. So it's supposed to be about him all grown up and navigating through the
Oh.
world with like his, like his abilities and stuff like that, right? And so we were there and we were supposed to be like antichrist followers. And we're supposed to walk through the cemetery whenever he comes out, right? Like, and he's trying to battle against like, like the good and the bad and all the in-betweens, right? And I shit you not, I never disrespected so many tombs in my life than that night. And we sat there, walked around, sat there some more, walked around, and we worked on that seat all freaking night. And by the time they got it, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I was like, y'all be crazy. Like we were in like hair and makeup, like not even that long, right? So I'll probably say around like 9 o'clock, we walked to the cemetery and we spent all freaking night there. And then
Sheesh.
to find out it never even came out. Like I was so bummed because like I'm not gonna lie, I was low key interested in the pilot episode and see where this would have gone because it sounded like it would have been a sick ass show. And
I mean, same thing. I feel the same way with mine. Like, I mean, like, because mine was one of my first things too. I did background as well, which actually it was funny because that was one of the things I was bumped up to as I was Taft Hartley for, um, which was one of my entries into becoming SAG. Which, by the way, I'm not SAG, but
that's
like I
so
just want to
funny
throw that
because
out there.
that was also my entry to becoming SAG too. Even though I literally was not, that was not my goal in life. I literally I just wanted to do a bunch of background work and hang out with the actors and actresses. That was literally my goal in life, like to be behind the scene of like my favorite shows and stuff.
Right.
I mean, hey, now I'm on Netflix, so
Hey now. Literally, like that was my goal. Like my goal was legit to be an actor, and like I need to pay some bills. I was like, I still got to make money, so I was able to do some background work, and that was one of the jobs I was Taft Hartley for. And I can't say the name of the show. I don't think I can, but it was a movie. But I was literally on set. I was called to be on set for 4 days, and I was playing a high school student. And like, yeah, like my first day, I'll never forget. I was just sitting there, and like just for one scene, like, and mind you, now they were setting up that one scene before I even got there, before we were even called to set. They were already setting up that one scene. So I went through hair and makeup, costuming, and everything. By the time I got to set, I still had to sit there an extra 4 hours just to wait for them to film a scene that literally probably was like 30 minutes. Like the amount of time that they filmed it, it only lasted like 30 minutes. And then after that, it was like, oh, okay, we're moving. All right, moving on. And I'm like, wow. And like all I did literally was just walk down the hallway with my backpack, and that's it. Literally, like, and it just kept going back to one, and like it kept going back, and then starting back at the end of the hallway, and then walking back in. And it's just like, wow, like this is what I'm doing, like question mark kind of a thing. So yeah, like it's very interesting how like we end up getting like how they want to end up basically eliminating all of that.
Right.
in general. That they want to get rid of all of that.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually really shocked because that takes away so much jobs too. And here we are talking about how
Yeah.
our society doesn't have enough job for everybody. That's why we're all so called broke, and that's why the economy is down. But it's like, yeah, but y'all keep eliminating jobs on us.
Yeah. They want to
And
insert technology so bad.
yeah, because like some of these people do be full-time like background actors and actresses.
Yes.
It's like literally
Oh
there's like I
yes.
met a few and I'm like, wow, you guys go
Me
hard.
too.
I was
Me
like,
too.
yeah.
They get like I'll never forget. I was on set with a guy who literally that was his job, and like he actually ended up hitting a lick because he was doing background for years, like for forever, and then he finally ended up actually scoring a job where he got to say a couple lines. And now, like, ever since, like, and he was able to pay for his SAG and everything. And now, like, he's now doing other little jobs here and there.
Damn.
But, like, he's not like, but he's still not a regular day player. Like, he's not like recurring or anything like that. You know, he just has little spots here and there. Like, that's mainly his thing.
Oh my God.
But yeah, like, even that was back in 2015.
Damn. Yeah, because I was gonna say
Wow.
for me, I met this guy, like white guy, because obviously white people always get the most parts. He got a
This is
regular
true.
reoccurrence on Rain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like because it was shot in Toronto, and when he told me that,
Mm-hmm.
shut the front door. I was like, I would love to be on Rain, but they would never cast me because I'm Asian. And like back in those days, like back in the show's days, in that time era, there wasn't a lot of color people, right? Or people of color.
Right.
So like I was like, that sucks. Um, I know even Kim's Convenient. Like, let me tell you how Kim's Convenient dead ass discriminated me because I did not speak Mandarin. But meanwhile, Simu Liu is not even a Korean.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
Like he speaks Mandarin. He's Chinese.
Wow.
And like dead ass told me I couldn't because like they sent out like like a call sheet, right? Like calling all people that are of this ethnicity that can speak this language for this particular show that's gonna be on tomorrow and the next day kind of thing, right? And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would love to be on Kim's Convenient. Like, hell yeah. They're like, oh, but you must be able to speak Mandarin. And I'm like, but a background, what am I supposed to say? Like, I can repeat, like, I can learn a
Right.
couple phrases. Like, why does it matter? And again, and to top it all off, Simu's not even freaking Korean. You hire a whole Chinese actor to play a Korean, but you won't hire background that can't speak Mandarin.
Right. Like
I
the
am at
gag
loss.
is it's so crazy because it's like even if you don't even have like a speaking line, like you're
Yeah,
just in the background.
right,
So you can't even hire me to be in the background? Like what
right,
kind of a mess is that?
right. I was just like, and the thing is, I wasn't
Who
like,
came up with that? That's so stupid.
it was so stupid. And the thing is, I wasn't even one of those special background actors, like you said, Brendan, that actually had a speaking role. Like, I wasn't even up there because I had to do like 40 hours worth of background for me to be eligible for a speaking role. And then I have to do like a few speaking roles for me to be eligible for SAG. So, like, I was just like, hey, that's not even my life goal. I was just here for fun and to make a couple bucks because like you literally get food, you get like you literally sit around and do nothing, you get fed, and you get paid minimum wage or above minimum wage at that time. So it's like, what the heck? And obviously, if you do night shoot, you get almost time and a half. And if you show up on set, I know for us, if you show up on set and they don't need you, they send you home. You automatically get paid for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So like those are like the perks, and I was like, damn.
That's crazy. That is so crazy. And I mean it's so wild. And like I said, like this is the type of stuff that the industry does already. And now you want to add AI into the mix. You know, like it's just this shit is wild. Like this shit is so crazy. So when we talk about like, oh, the industry, and why protecting actors and protecting the equity of actors is so important. Like, this is why. Like, this is legit why. Like, this shit is so important, and it is just so we have to have these actors back because they are the ones who are standing in front of cameras for hours and hours and hours a day. They are the ones that are constantly like making our favorite shows that we know and love. I don't care if you hate the writing. I don't care if you don't like a specific actor, whatever have you. Like, they are still a part of things that we love. So at the end of the day, like, we have to have their backs. Like, we cannot let these studios be out here on some like, oh yeah, I don't care. Like, you signed up for this, so we're just gonna pay you whatever we feel like paying you. Like, no, like we have to stand tall and we have to stand strong with SAG-AFTRA, and also with WGA. From my understanding, WGA, the Writers Guild of America, apparently they are close to getting a deal. Now, we don't know if the deal is actually going to suffice, but they are close to making an arrangement. So, and they've already said that even if they do make an arrangement, they will still strike on behalf of SAG-AFTRA because SAG-AFTRA helped them. So they were like, they're going to help them too. So I'm like, we love the partnership, baby. We love it. Like, we're going to make sure that these studios get it right, because there should be no reason as to why there's not a rubric for why people aren't getting the money that they should be due. Because just like we talked earlier, me and Will, we were talking about how there's no rubric for streaming services. Streaming has been out for close to 10 years now. Like, streaming has been popular, and within the past 10 years, streaming, or up to 10 years, streaming has now elevated itself from just, oh, your random, oh, this movie is just going to go here, to now streaming services now have their own TV shows. They have their own movies. They have all this stuff, like literally, like Amazon Prime, they have their own bomb-ass TV shows, like The Boys, that we love to talk about. Like, they have their own, like, all these streaming platforms have their own shows. We can't call it HBO Max anymore because now they changed it to Max because they didn't want to pay people. But like, because that was the real reason. Like, that's the real Gaga is the reason why they changed it to Max. But like, they had their own TV shows. Like, they have their own things. And the fact that, like, we've elevated to this point to where it's like, oh no, like, we don't have a rubric to have to pay for us to have to pay people. So they can just send out anything. They can just pay people anything. And it's so sad that we're living in a time where we're we're not anymore because we're striking it. But it got to the point, we're living in a time where it got to the point where people are out here like, yeah, no, we're going to make sure that y'all don't get what you want or get what you need. Like, we're going to keep introducing all these new concepts and all these new ways that we are not going to pay you, but we're going to keep the rubric the same. It's just so sad. It's a mess. So, once again, we say all of these things as the reason as to why we're, as much as we want to support, because honestly, I am so excited for Cosmic Fury. I really am. Like, I'm so excited for Hunter, Russell, Jordan, Chance, Kai, Tessa. Like, I'm so excited for them because honestly, Cosmic Fury wasn't supposed to happen. It wasn't supposed to happen, but because Dino Fury did so well, it's like, oh, well, and also they didn't have any idea of what they were going to do for 30th. It's just, it was giving real, like, bring them back. And like, I'm so excited. I mean, we don't know that for sure. I'm just guessing. But you know, I'm just like, I'm just so excited to see them back on my TV screen again. But also at the same time, like, I just don't have it in me to also neglect the other actors and actresses out there who are just like, nah, like, I'm not making a livable wage. Like, I'm not being able to support myself. And also for the actors and actresses that are striking right now, this is what they're faced with. I just want to go ahead and let that be known too, just to kind of give y'all an idea, right? And then we're going to move on. So just to kind of give y'all an idea as to what the actors will be missing out on while they're on strike. And this is why this strike is so important. Because when I say they're not making any money, they're not making any money. And even with Stephen Amell saying what he said on that platform, he doesn't support strikes in general because he already broke the rule. He doesn't support strikes. He's so full of shit. This is why. These are the things that they cannot participate in while they're on strike. Acting, singing, dancing, performing stunts, piloting on-camera aircraft, puppeteering, performance capture or motion capture work, ADR, TV trailers, voice acting, and theatrical trailers, voice acting, singing, narration, stunt coordinating and related services, stand-in work, photo or body doubles, fittings, wardrobe test and makeup test, rehearsals and camera tests, scanning, tours, personal appearances, interviews, conventions, fan expos, festivals, for your consideration events, panels, premieres and/or screenings, award shows, junkets, podcast appearances, social media, studio showcases. So that's just a little bit of the things that they can't do. They can't do anything that will give them any type of money because 9 times out of 10, the thing that is going to give them money is in cahoots with the studios. And it would benefit the studios because they are promoting whatever the studio is doing. So Stephen Amell already, like, even with all that foolishness about him talking about well, now he's out here trying to clean up the bullshit that he said. Like, even with that, like, he already has shown that he doesn't support the strikes anyway. Hold on. Oh, something must have happened out there. Okay, that one. He already has shown that he doesn't support strikes or support the strike that's going on because his ass was at GalaxyCon. He was at GalaxyCon. So really, in actuality, you've already violated already. Like, you already made a huge violation. So it's like, I would not be surprised. Like, he better hold on to that heels money. Okay, baby, you better hold on to that heels money. Because I'm pretty sure going forward, your work is going to be pretty slim. Because, like, after this, and especially since you've made headlines, baby, like, baby, you might not be working. Like, you better hang on to that 8 million net worth because, baby, like, it's giving real. You might not be working going forward. So, but yeah, like, this is just some of the things that, like, actors just can't do right now. So please, if you can, please support. Like, if you can, if you see strikes, if you see people out here, and this is specifically for people in Los Angeles, like, if you see anybody outside, because it's hot, baby, it's hot, y'all. It's so hot out here. As a matter of fact, right now I'm suffering doing this show because I cut the air off. Bitch, I'm in here sweating bullets. But bitch, I'm hot. But I say all of that to say, like, if you see anybody outside, them picketing and doing the Lord's work, please, please show your love, show your support. Hand out towels, water, umbrellas, anything you can just to help these people because just to help the actors because I'm telling you, it is bad. It is so bad, y'all. And like they're putting their lives on the line just to make sure that themselves and also other upcoming actors and other actors, other actors and performers make sure that they have an equitable living. And that's what we're in support of. So yeah. That pretty much sums up this talk. Now, also, I just lastly just want to touch on real fast. Does anybody else have anything to say before we move on?
Yeah, real quick.
Go for it.
Don't cancel Netflix or any of your streaming services to support the strike. Not until the only time that you should do that is if you see any sort of official announcement from WGA or SAG, but until then, don't do it.
Oh, and also, I'm so glad that you said that. This also goes out to my upcoming performers and actors, anybody that is looking for an opportunity or looking for a gate or looking for their way in. These studios are trying to pay any and everybody to jump in. They are offering all types of packages, offering all these big monies, all these big salaries and all this stuff. Do not bite. Do not bite at it. I know y'all are like, oh, this is a huge come up for me. Don't do it. Don't do it. You are undermining everything that these actors are working for. You are undermining everything that these performers are working for. Please do not be a scab. Don't do it. Don't do it. I understand some people are out here like, I'll just change my name. Girl, don't do it. Just don't do it. Let these performers do their thing, get the right negotiations so that everybody can have a seat at the table. Because as of right now, if you go out there and you take whatever it is that they're offering, you literally are making it so hard, and you're going to make it even 10 times harder for any and everybody out there that is trying to hold these studios accountable and trying to make it equitable for them. You are literally screwing it for not only these performers who are out right now, but any other future performer that is up and coming as well. Just something to think about. So yeah. Lastly, before we go, I also want to talk about this Hasbro earnings call. So to make a long story short, because like I said, we're not promoting anything out in these streets. So just basically letting the people know that what happened with the earnings call. So just to let y'all know, Lionsgate closes a deal to acquire eOne from Hasbro for $500 million. Lionsgate has acquired Entertainment One, eOne, and film operations from Hasbro for approximately $500 million. The transaction is expected to close by the end of the year. So I'm pretty sure we're all asking, what does that mean, Power Rangers? As of right now, what that means is, according to the article, popular IPs in the family brand division like Peppa Pig, Transformers, Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, My Little Pony, Power Rangers, Play-Doh, Monopoly, and Clue were not only excluded from the deal, but we will see, in quote, significant development, production, and financing capabilities support, in close quote, support across film, TV, animation, and digital shorts as they've been rolled into Hasbro's brands, licensing, and merchandising operations. So from what I gathered, and from what anybody would gather from this, unless anybody else has a different line of thinking, Power Rangers is not going to Lionsgate. They're not going to Lionsgate. They are staying with Hasbro, Hasbro's own production company thingy. Unless y'all got something different than that. Like, did y'all get anything different from that? Because I see some people like making tweets of like, oh, we're finally gonna get like the 2017 movie or sequel to the 2017 movie. I didn't get that from this article. I got Hasbro is doing their own thing. They are like, we're gonna produce our own shows on our own thing. Lionsgate it has they took E1 from us. That's all. Like that's literally it.
It straight up said that it's excluded. Power Rangers is one of the brands that's excluded. So how do you get that?
Girl, child, listen. Like y'all know people will read and interpret things however they want to interpret them. And you know, we all know how this goes. We know how this goes with this fandom. But you know, people because as soon as they heard Lionsgate, the first thing that popped off in people's heads were 2017 movie. And it's like, y'all, they explicitly said in this article, excluded, meaning Power Rangers did not go with Lionsgate, y'all. They did not go with them. So because they did not go with them, like that means they're not being produced. They're not being produced. Now, I did also see somebody also said as well. They were like, well, Power Rangers wasn't specifically mentioned in the actual text that in the actual official press release that was released from Hasbro. They weren't mentioned in there. I say this came from Variety. I'm pretty sure Variety, like, they pretty much got all the information. Like, Variety is an official publication. Like, they're just as official as anyone else. So, if they mentioned all of these IPs, because in the original one, in the actual IP, in the actual breakdown from what Hasbro mentioned, they only mentioned one or two actual brands in the overall thing. So if you want to be like, oh well, they didn't mention Power Rangers in the official document, they didn't mention majority of these brands. They didn't mention majority of them. But Variety, I'm pretty sure Variety got more information and probably asked the questions of what are the brand IPs that did not get, attached to Lionsgate, that didn't go with Lionsgate. And I'm pretty sure they probably said Power Rangers. Power Rangers was among that. Because why would they add Power Rangers if it wasn't a part of it? You see what I'm saying? Like, why would they add it? So I'm almost positive. I'm going with Variety on this one. So if I'm wrong, then, oh well. But I'm going with Variety on this article. So I 100% believe that Power Rangers is sticking with Hasbro. 100%. They are sticking with Hasbro, and Hasbro is going to produce their own thing. And that's just, it is what it is. Because they already are being sourced through Netflix. So I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden we start seeing, because we already saw it for Once and Always. I wouldn't be surprised if going forward they start saying produced by Hasbro and Netflix. And no more anything is attached to it because we won't see E1 attached to any of the ending credits anymore. So 9 times out of 10, it will be just saying Hasbro and probably Netflix. So, I'm gonna take a stab at it and say Power Rangers is definitely staying at home with Hasbro, and going forward, anything that will probably be coming up in the future in terms of any type of productions or anything like that is probably going to be running straight through Hasbro and be airing specifically on Netflix and only Netflix, unless they decide to put it on YouTube. So I'm sorry to kind of rain on the parades of some of the people whose high hopes were like, oh yeah, it may end up going to Lionsgate and we may end up getting Power Rangers 2017 sequel. That's probably not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen, y'all. Like, I'm sorry, that ship has sailed. Plus, like, all the actors have moved on to bigger and better things, right? I mean, it's just not happening, y'all. It's just not. Like, I get it. Like, I get everybody's hopes and dreams, because I mean, I would love to see, what could have happened, but yeah, like it's not looking like that, y'all. It's just not. So let's just go ahead and hope for the best. I mean, we still have the Entwistle universe that is definitely coming. Now there's been some talks about the progression of where we are. Some people are saying that, scripts have been written. I've heard some people even mention that, oh, well, like they're just ready to go ahead and, as soon as the strike is over, go ahead and start bringing in auditioning actors and stuff. I've been hearing so much. Like, I've been hearing a whole lot of shit, but we don't know. Like, the point of the matter is, nobody knows. Nobody officially knows anything. It is what it is at this point. So let's just hope for the best. 9 times out of 10, this strike will not be over until 2024. Like, it's looking that way, because the studios do not want to cooperate. So, it's looking like we may be striking for a very long time. I mean, the last strike that happened lasted for 95 days. So hopefully, I'm praying that hopefully we get to a point where, we get together and we're like, okay, we got a deal. Cool. Does this deal look good for you? Yes. Does this deal look good for you? Yes. All right. We make an agreement. We're good. But other than that, like, it's not looking that way right now. And it may not be that way for a minute. So once again, just letting y'all know, final rundown, we're striking up until the last day. We're going for it until everybody reach an agreement and everybody's like, hey, we're happy with the decision and everybody's good, everybody's moved on, and and the strikes are over. That's when we'll stop striking as well. But other than that, you will not see any of the things that we've been doing as of late. So yeah, I hope y'all keep rocking with us, because we're going to try to keep y'all entertained as much as possible. All right. Well, this has been a very fun conversation today. I don't know if this touched the hearts and minds of many people, but for our listeners, keep rocking with us, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Once again, my name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And we will see you next time, hopefully. Bye, y'all.
Bye for now.